Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another episode of the One Meal Channel. I'm your host Nathan, and I make quick and easy meals for myself that typically can last me through the entire day. We're going to be doing something simple. I'm going to do a little bacon tortilla wrap for myself, and I hope you all enjoy. I film at least 4 times a week, except when my family's over for long extended periods of time, which is something that happened recently, but they live out of state, so that doesn't happen too often. Back to our regularly scheduled programming. So hello, welcome back. Hope you enjoyed the chicken and rice that we made the other day. It was good for me. We're gonna go back to a nice breakfast style wrap. You can make this in chicken. You can make this vegetarian if you want. But I really like my bacon and eggs. And I don't care what time of day it is. It makes a nice, delicious meal in and of itself. So let's go with the bacon and egg style. You can assemble it in your pan or wait so after everything's cooked and assemble it afterwards, but I find that everything sticks to your tortilla better if you do it all in the pan. Let's get this bacon out. We're just going to do 2 strips. Keep it simple. Thin cuts actually work best for this, which is what we have. Yeah, it'll lubricate the pan. Make for a good non-stick aging. It's a non-stick pan, but might as well help with everything. We did chicken before. I really like the chicken. I think what's best is to do breaded chicken. Make a little bit yourself. Fry it in the pan beforehand. Add some butter, kind of slightly deglaze it, and then put your tortilla in afterwards. You can add a lot of lettuce and cheese and all sorts of other stuff on top of it, tomatoes, which is really nice. But be careful, because you will overstuff your tortilla pretty quickly. We did mini tacos as well. The mini tacos were fantastic. Took a little bit longer, but they also stored really well in the freezer. So I had them one of the days that I wasn't filming as just a little bit of leftover for myself, and it was fantastic. We're going to try to push the boundaries slightly here with our meal. I think we're going to go in for 4 eggs rather than 3. 3 works best if we're using smaller tortillas. 2 is preferable. I mean, just for perspective, I have pretty average hands, and these are huge. I mean, they're about 14 inches wide. So you want your eggs to cook quickly. You want them to stick to your tortilla when you put them in. The more eggs that you put, the more difficult that is to happen, and the runnier it's going to be. So we'll try to avoid that as best we can. Again, like I said, that thin bacon will cook up quickly, which is all things that we want to see. You don't have to mix up your eggs. You can just crack the eggs directly in there and break the yolk. That'll work just fine as well. I'm kind of in the habit of doing what I'm doing, so we're going to stick with that for now. And while I work ahead and get our rogue bacon, which is no longer needed here, put back into the fridge. Come on, that doesn't close you that much. You can get the air out just fine. Thank you. The bacon is already prepared to be flipped. All right, so I feel like I have to do like a slight update, bring a little bit of attention to what's going on right now. It was my birthday not too long ago. I'm not going to tell you specifically what date, but Noah got me these new slippers, which is nice. And they have a really thick sole at the bottom of them, which is great. The previous ones, the soles were starting to go out. These are much louder. So I used to be able to walk all over the house without making too much noise. I feel like I'm stomping all of a sudden now, since we're in this, you know, hardwood floor. So if you hear a little bit more noise when I'm walking around, that's what it is. I got these new slippers. Nothing to be concerned about. So let's see, do we have a cheese grater? I have never grated cheese before, so I'm going to have to cut this myself, or am I going to be able to use a cheese grater on this? We have the peelers. I don't think we have a cheese grater. No matter. No matter. We can just grab our cutting board and a knife and cut nice thin strips of cheese. We'll see how thin they actually turn out to be. The bacon seems to be doing well already. So we're going to take our eggs and evenly distribute it out around this pan. The bottom of it's going to cook pretty quickly. I'm going to take this cheese. You know what? I'm just going to take this whole cover off and put it in a plastic bag anyway. I'll take this. Let's see what we can do here. Nice thin slices. Oh, that seems fine. This piece is a little bit thicker, so I'll save that for myself. That's a nice thin slice right there. Let's do a couple of more. That'll work. And this one as well. Great. If you have the opportunity to have Tillamook cheese, I highly recommend it. My favorite, readily available, easy to make, easy to get a hold of cheese if you're here in the United States. So we're going to add some cheese here. Egg is cooking up right nicely already. So we'll put our tortilla on top of it. Give it a little bit of pressure. Try to make it stick. It's okay if it overflows a little bit on the side. Not a big deal. Actually, probably for the better. Non-stick pan works best. But I've also tried this on the cast iron, and it does, believe it or not, work well on the cast iron. You're gonna have to use a spatula for this either way. Nice piece of cheese. Let's see if I cut away enough to fit this in a quart bag. It's gonna be close. Oh, it's gonna be really close. Let's see what we're doing here. Ooh, just enough. Very satisfying. We'll take our eggs as well. We got a whole other carton ready to go in the bullpen, so to speak. And let's see, what else should we do with this? We're making a lot of progress, really quick, easy to make. What else should we do with this? I think that we should have a little bit of hot sauce. A little bit of sriracha. Not too hot. Really good flavor. Pretty simple. A little bit of seasoning. Classic. Pepper, garlic, salt, Lowry's. Good go-tos. Let's take a look at this. How are we doing here? Give it a little twist maybe? Ooh, I feel like we're getting a little bit stuck to the bottom here. I feel like we're getting a little bit stuck to the bottom. I could be wrong. Could just be making that up. Either way, we're going to need a spatula. Let's see how this turns out. Yeah, a little bit of stickage. A little bit of stickage over there. Pull this around now. Yeah, you can see over here this started turning into itself. But all in all, I'd say that it's working quite well. And we do want this to cook on the opposite side. We do want this to be a little bit crispy. So we're going to add a little bit of our seasoning. It's better if you do this while the egg is still running, but this is all going to get folded into itself anyway. This is a great opportunity as well if you use a little bit less eggs to put any of the sort of toppings that you like on this. You know, maybe you want some vegetables or something like that. I think I might have shaken this up with the cap open slightly, so I might have just made a mess. We're gonna drape one side of this with hot sauce, not too much. Keeping an eye out, seeing if I have any rogue splatters anywhere. I'm sure I'll find that when I least expect it. Anyway, nice and simple, nice and well cooked. Let's flip over the bottom side into itself. Perfect. Look at that. Give it a little flip to check on it. Yeah, you know what? I think this side does need a more cooking. Great. Yeah, Noah had done such a great job of cleaning the floors yesterday. Don't want to ruin it by getting hot sauce everywhere. So if any of you watching see some hot sauce on the floor, call it out so that we can clean it up properly. Yeah, the floors look awesome. While that's cooking, just getting a little bit more crispy, let's start putting things back where they were. Getting our dishes prepped. We'll leave this out just a little bit longer because we need to put the finishing touches on our little snack meal, whatever you call it. So let's take a look, see if this needs to be cooked any farther. Oh no, it might even be borderline overcooked on that side. But regardless, I think it'll turn out just great for us. So we'll put this down on our cutting board. Turn our pan to the sink that has become so accustomed to. Get everything prepped and ready to go. And let's see what we have here. Everybody be quiet. Everybody be quiet. Pay attention. That's very nice. That is very nice, my friends. And so give this a nice cut down the middle. Layer this on top of each other. Put it on our plate. And take a photo, of course, for the gram. Excellent. And I'm sure your iPhones do the same thing, but these Samsung phones keep getting updates. So it's nice to see the camera quality and the filters improve and improve every year that I use it, even though I don't get a new phone. Well, this video went by a lot quicker than our typical videos. Our videos are usually, you know, sometimes upwards of 30 minutes long. Let's take this opportunity to do something special. We gave you the crust sound. Very nice sound, by the way. We're going to do the crunch sound. Take a look at that. Beautiful. Give it a little squeeze. Ooh. Cheese and sauce. Cheese and sauce. Alright. Let's hope this doesn't burn me. Mmm. Very nice. They even got a little cheese pull there. You might not have seen it, but I did. This is excellent. And these crunchy little bits, you know, just cook it a little bit less than I did. You won't have such a mess. But I like those crunchy little bits. Thank you all for watching. Tomorrow, or the day after, we'll have another thing that we make. So keep stopping by, and we'll have a bunch of different creative ideas. Leave a comment down below with things that you'd like to see me make. Okay, bye.